Well, this is Interstellar Radio. Today's day is September 22nd, 2019. We have Retro on the line. Hello there.
Hello.
All
Good day.
right. Greetings. Okay, we're going to do Atlantis subject matter. So just AR.
Yes. AR is here. I see some Arcturians here as well.
Okay.
They look fairly tall to me.
Wow.
9, 10 foot
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So Atlantis, the suggestion from AR that you said you wanted to talk about as well. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see if we can get to lead this on there.
Yep, it's all in your hands. AR hands.
Yes. I'm being taken to what looks like a temple.
Mm-hmm.
One moment, just to confirm this. Yes, that's a more of a shrine, but it has the energy of the temple connected to the earth. It looks like it's underground in some parts. But yes, it still has connections to, of course, lunar energy as well. It is connected to your South America or Central America, it feels like. But also, it's connected to different places on this world, of course. Even in like the mountains and Russia,
Yeah.
uh, it feels like. But um, but it is connected. It's a shrine. It looks like it's kind of been buried over time.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's still it's out there. It's covered in a very thin layer. It looks like it could be easily excavated.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to be in a plains or steppe or of some kind, covered under a hill or a mound.
Mm-hmm.
It is connected to some very old religious traditions. It feels like it is similar in structure to some of the temples and pyramids in Mexico.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Aztec connected.
It feels it's not just Aztec. It's like
Yeah.
pre-Aztec. It feels,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, to me, it feels almost Russian too, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm not entirely certain where it is. It just feels connected to many different sources. Uh,
Okay.
that is connected to religious ceremonies. It hides some kind of secret under it. It feels like some kind of mechanism under the cap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is a hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing some sort of mechanism in there. It, it's connected to the stars, to the skies. Yes, it feels like it has some sort of communication or astronomical significance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it feels like it used to be used as a beacon that's connected to other beacons across the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to the moon. I see them building some sort of fire underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
It's activated by fire. It looks like it's a coal underneath it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that activates it, and it acts as a beacon that also connects other beacons. It's a beacon to show people where it came from back there. It points to different stars, different galaxies, mostly stars. Sun in particular, I believe it's connected to the Pleiadians. Different, I think, Antares or I'm not sure, Antares, Arcturus, one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of gave that little idea of where we come from. It is used way back before any of these civilizations we know was around. It was used way back as sort of an altar or a ritual to kind of speak with the family in the stars, in the heavens.
And speak to other planets.
Yeah. Oh. It kind of opens up the connection. It's like a tower or a radio to other worlds, basically. So this exists on this planet. It is it's a connection to not only our ancestors, but also it's used to connect with our human ancestors as well as our alien ancestors. And that significance added later. So it's like a temple. It's buried underneath a very wide field. Near some sort of hills or mountains. It's trying to. Let me see. I am actually hearing it is in Mexico. I'm hearing that Mexico. We're moving now to mountains, the Rocky Mountains. It's being taken there now. One second. Yeah. Okay, if you like the Rocky Mountains were once. It was an early colony. Those mountains in northern United States. There was an early colony around there. Early Atlantean colony. And it's not some of the oldest energies there. That's also some of the freest and most purest because it's some of the calmest energy it feels like in some areas out west. I'm thinking particularly Colorado, Wyoming.
Yeah.
And it also feels particularly so, particularly in the interior west, the mountains and Badlands. It's sacred areas. There's lots of sacred energies there because it's very connected to the earth. It's sort of the most primal area. So it's sacred to not only the Atlanteans but also to the Native Americans as well. Because it has that connection. It's some of the first place that humans inhabited. It feels like it's in that area. It's still fairly peaceful too, but it feels like an origin point for one of the earliest civilizations connected to Atlantis.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if you can think of a thought on that as well. Is anything you want to add to that? You feel?
I don't know. Well, this is kind of related, but not fully related. But it's still connected to the Atlanteans. About the humans, I did a channeling with someone about humans were separate. The Atlanteans came here to like perfect the human, or like what's AR is like. The Atlanteans came to assist with human development here. I don't know, what is AR's perspective of that?
Yes, it feels like that was first tried out in the areas where there's more divine energy in the mountains in the United States, in that area.
Mm-hmm.
There's a special kind of energy there connected to the earth that was fairly easy to connect to and work with. So it feels like that was one of the early human.
Wow.
And then Americans are connected to that. It also feels. It's not just Atlantean energies there, too. That it is a lot of it there.
It was like the Neanderthal, different versions of human.
Yes.
For the Atlanteans or somebody else.
A mixture of different people.
Yeah.
Speaking of the mountains, I also was asking AR just now about the mountains around the borders of Kazakhstan, Russia, and China and Mongolia.
Mm-hmm.
It's particularly held to be a sacred site in some regions around there. The Altai, the the Turkic people and Mongols. It's sort of an origin point in the Altai Mountains. And I'm getting that that's not. I'm getting that mostly connected to different alien groups. But it also has a very sort of sacred energy there that's similar to the Native Americans in a sense. But it's its own different origin points.
Okay.
Somewhere around the same time zone as same time zone, I believe, as the one in North America. But I feel like those are more connected to the Zetas.
Like slowly putting the human together.
Yes, there were different groups putting the humans together, of course. The Atlanteans, different alien groups. Some were working together, and some were not working together. That they all kind of merged into.
They all merged into
humans.
one eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a couple questions, or are you connecting?
Sure. Go ahead.
This is kind of related still about like AR's. What does AR have to say about the dinosaurs being wiped out?
It felt like it was their time, and it was. Some of them understood that it was time to go, or is it coming to an end. It felt like it was sort of decided to happen. Of course, it feels like some of the birds that evolved from dinosaurs stuck around. Like your chickens and everything else. They kind of their energy is still part of this earth. It's
never thought about that.
It's supposed to keep some kind of balance.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking about the larger scale dinosaurs, some of them are still around, hiding in the shadows, not quite ready to show themselves yet. The ones that are underwater. But yes, as far as dinosaurs are concerned, the one that went extinct, it kind of felt like they knew it was time to go, in a sense. Or at least that was a consensus. Maybe not all of them agreed, but
was there was all types of stories about our past, that there was a war. Is there a war between the felines and the reptilians during ancient times?
Where?
Like during dinosaur time, or
on Earth?
Or on Earth, yeah.
Okay.
some ancient before Atlantis, I believe.
Hmm. One moment.
Yeah.
I'm getting a yes.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like what might have happened is actually the reptilians were sort of the more aggressive ones back then. Other than we're here today about the felines are kind of leading the reptilians along in this whole scheme,
Yeah.
and in turn the felines are being led by the Curians.
Yeah.
That wasn't always the case. I actually saw a lot of times felines had been sort of attacked by the reptilians
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
very brutally at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah, that was here or some partway here.
uh, do you remember? I think we talked about I want to say it was not Uranus, Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
Had it was a feline world. It was I think connected
Mm-hmm.
to the Lyrans,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but the felines were driven off, I believe, by the reptilians.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and I kind of feel like the reason why the felines today they're kind of in the background. They don't really show
Mm-hmm.
themselves much.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think it's the one. It's not just a distaste towards social interaction with other races, but it's also a security thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the less available they are to others, the less of a threat, less threatening they can be. The more in
Mm-hmm.
the shadows they are, the
Yeah.
less can come their way, less attention. Uh, and it's really just a few felines compared to the entire race. It feels like,
Yeah. Definitely. I do feel some, not very often, but everyone, like yesterday, I felt feline
hmm.
interference. Very seldom. Very not the easy to connect to.
Well,
Hmm.
and two, what I kind of feel like about uh, felines and reptilians is you may have one or two felines can take out one or two reptilians and
Mm-hmm.
outsmart them in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But uh, I believe that reptilians might outnumber the felines in the sense that
Yeah.
it may be hard to take down in a war.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it, it's all things being equal, I feel like a feline stands a higher chance of winning in a fight, but it's usually not always equal. So,
Yeah. Hmm.
um, so what I hold on a minute. So yes, there was a war between the felines and the reptilians.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the reptilians kind of felt like they were at their prime at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of they wanted to show their dominance. And the felines did too, but not to the same degree.
Mm-hmm.
I think the felines just poked in a bit too much, and maybe that's what happened. One moment. And even then, I don't think the felines always had, uh, even the ones that are in charge, to say,
Mm-hmm.
always had negative intentions. Um, Especially when we talk about during the dinosaur ages, it feels like it was actually more positive back then. Uh, there's a lot more positive feline energy too, as well as
Mm-hmm.
that was the Thor humans as they were today.
Mm-hmm.
The Thor, there's trauma of Atlantis, Atlantean beings, Atlantean humans doing too much harm.
Yeah.
One moment, yes. But it felt like the events of the wars concerning Earth have shaped a lot of the psyche, at least in regards to uh, military command and whatnot.
Okay.
I'm not making sense. Then sorry, but yes, it felt like they were quite different. The war with the Atlantis happened, and the Thor humans came along.
Hmm.
Is what I'm getting at.
I do have a
Uh,
couple. I have a couple questions for AR. That's all right.
yes.
Okay, I got. Well, how about I don't know if I ever asked this. We can't remember everything we asked. About the human, like, what is AR's point of view? Like, what? I mean, I've talked to Neutron about like when they put all our DNA and the human was the best one. They put all
Hmm.
the DNA in. What is AR's point of view? Why was it decided for humans to be here from AR's point of view?
Hmm. One moment.
Yeah, if you can say anything.
Humans, that's a different capacity, intellectual capacity. It's just the kind of energy that can. It's easier to balance.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that actually, yes. When the Earth was first talking about supporting life,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like she wanted to have different forms of the sapient life. So you would have different non-human beings that are similar to humans in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it, like with the humans, it was sort of a way to keep things balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's just the social order and our potential to go in very different ways. We can express ourselves to be very similar to other beings as well. It feels like so we have the greatest balance in some sense, but we're also can express ourselves very differently from each other, very individual.
Mm-hmm.
So like in a sense, it's our individuality that creates not only the expressions of the universe and very different things, we are very different from each other, in a sense, but it's also what was intended for our planet to be a challenging planet
Yeah.
is because there's so much things that are very different
Yeah.
from one person to another.
Yep.
There's so much variability. Um, but it's not always the same. You have challenges, but they're not always the same kind of challenges, same level of challenges, because they're not always going to war the same way as the
Mm-hmm.
reptilians do or the felines do. We kind of or adapt. We are able to adapt and
Yeah.
become very different in. Yeah. So we can represent different things as a human.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like a Russian, a Chinese, and a Japanese, and you know,
well, not only that, but you can also have a cat-like human or a
yeah,
pig-like human or
yeah.
a
I was gonna say pig, yeah.
donkey-like human. Yeah.
Yeah. And they all, yeah, all the donkeys, all the pigs, they all act, they all have their
Yeah.
different ways of doing things.
Yeah.
And it's
Whereas
all,
humans are individual.
yeah,
Um,
it's all,
humans,
yeah,
sorry,
it's all
humans are
plugged into us. Yeah. Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's because humans tend to be the most individualistic.
Yeah.
Um, that would kind of make things easier, more aligned with what we wanted in this planet. Just more challenges, more expression. We need more everything. We need more complexity, and
Mm-hmm.
humans are the vehicle for that.
So, like with like there are Palladian humans, and there are you aware of the Lyran humans? The
Mm-hmm.
feline, but it's more humanoid like us.
Yeah.
What does AR say? What are we most like? Are we like both of them? Um, I mean, we're separate, but we're similar, I imagine, to both. I don't know. Whatever AR has to say.
I'm hearing we're actually more like, I want to say more like Arcturians.
Huh. Interesting. That's a different.
Uh, yeah, different. Yeah.
I would have never got that one. You don't hear about that. Like Arturic human, or
More like Arcturians in general. It looks like
in general.
that's what I'm hearing. It's more like
Jeez.
characteristic. We share some characteristics
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with them. It feels like not entirely to say that they do different level than we are, that we don't quite understand, but we still have some characteristics that are quite uh like the Arcturians. Um, one moment. The other two you mentioned, I feel like we are we're quite different from the Palladians in some regards. Most humans are, for lack of a better term, more emotionally grounded, more
Mm-hmm.
logic oriented. We
Mm-hmm.
can still be very heart centered, like the Palladians are. That the Palladians take that to an extreme. Sometimes, not all of them, but it seems like that.
And they
Um,
come, yeah, they come from the heart. Just
yeah,
like first thing, what can I do for other people, or something like that, or
that or you might have a Palladian that expresses itself in very exuberant or optimistic ways,
yeah.
whereas humans we tend to be more level.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Arcturians have they do come from the heart as well, that they have a logical,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
calmer level to them as well.
Hmm.
I if you want to compare the two that you listed,
Mm-hmm.
we may be more similar to the Lyrans.
Okay. I was feeling that. Interesting.
Mhm.
Not exactly, of course, but I mean we're separate
Yeah,
altogether,
exactly.
but we're similar. Huh.
It was the Lyrans and I want to say Syrians that are claimed to have seeded humans here.
Uh,
On Earth.
I mean, the Anunnaki is the one that puts their hand up the highest from everything. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the Syrians they all play some kind of part. Yeah, yeah. I feel we have a lot of feline characteristics.
yeah.
Definitely.
Um, I can see that. Those people probably had that
Well, the energy
feline.
I get from the Syrians, not to say that I feel like we're getting a lot of their conflict. Not that they're conflict beings, but
Mm-hmm.
we're for some reason we're pulling it. Like Syria and the
Mm-hmm.
Arab world. A lot of that is Syrian conflict
Hmm.
developed here. That's a feeling I get from it.
I would have assumed it was more Orion
That
conflict.
too. It's probably between the two of them. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, Orion's really quiet.
it is. Yeah,
It's like, yeah, Orion. Yeah, Orion plays a big role for sure.
yeah. It's shrouded in some mystery. Uh,
I do have a question about for
mhm.
AR about so when alien beings, I mean, obviously when we lowered our vibration, we couldn't see them anymore. But I imagine there was also an agreement for them to not be seen here, you know, in the past, during the pyramids or something like that.
A moment. Yes, there was. I thought the agreement came later.
Hmm. Yeah.
From what I'm feeling myself, and this is actually Eric can confirm this. Some of them felt like the agreement. Hold on. I'm getting the word mistake, but I'm trying to get the context of it.
Yeah.
There was there was an agreement. It was set for a number of years, uh, and we're coming close to the end of the agreement. It feels like,
Wow.
but not real close. It's still generations, but
Yeah. But, well, still.
relatively close. Yes.
Close.
Like think about the as an arc of thousands of years, the arc is coming more into hundreds. So
Wow.
um, it feels like there were some aliens that felt it was a mistake
Hmm.
to take them off planet completely to become so backseat in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, it was necessary.
Yep. Yeah. Just hard.
Um,
Just hard.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to it's harder for them than you might think.
Hmm.
There's for us, it felt like we needed to kind of isolate ourselves in order to settle, then the energy to settle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It felt like there would have been more conflict within us if we had more alien energies available. If they were more around, if they were around more than they were, so, if they were around more, it would have made more conflict as we descended. More conflicting. There would have been a lot more fear towards them as time went on.
Hmm.
A lot more of a disconnect. So it was easier to kind of let things settle until the time when we could, uh, until the time that we could embrace our alien existence a lot easier. And I felt like that was actually sort of the hard lesson that was learned in past uh, experiments in different universes.
Hmm.
And the sort of very hard lesson to learn is that like it's very hard to see a planet dissolve, of course,
Hmm. Hmm.
when you have the connection to one that is like Earth, because it's kind of like it's letting a part of yourself go in a way. If they were connected to the Earth, um, it's making room for things to happen that need to happen in order to heal.
Yeah.
You have to give it a bit of time and space in order to
Hmm.
become healthy again.
Yeah. Makes
So it's
sense.
one of the hard lessons, and that's sort of the emotional hard stop for some
Yeah.
alien beings that feels like it.
Kind of like the parents that step back and let the kids go to school.
Yeah,
It's hard to let them go.
yeah,
That's what it feels like.
it feels like
So,
that too.
what about India? India is a very, you'd say, loud place. With all the temples and all that. It's very alive. at least
India.
mythology wise. What is AR saying anything about Atlantean or unknown race or
Hold on.
if you need to look anything up or it's up to you. Just came to mind.
Well, I feel like there was a. Let's see if AR. It felt like there was an influence in India, of course, by different alien races that were trying to influence it. The Anunnaki, of course, but not to the same success as others. Yes, you had the blue aliens. It looked like.
Mhm.
Um, Actually, I had this ceremonial bell in my altar area right now, and it
Yeah,
has it's a Tibetan bell. They
yeah,
have the
yep,
striker that had the claws on it.
yep.
It's made as their weapon,
Cool.
and I believe that's actually representative of a weapon that the Blue Aliens had used.
Hmm. Hmm.
I hadn't confirmed that yet, but that's something that I've been told, and that those like it could be true.
Just that the Indians are very, their
Hmm.
mythology is so alive,
Yes,
so out there.
and it is still quite accessible as well.
Yeah,
It felt like the origins, though, it's very hard to pin down to any particular alien
just
race.
just a lot of beings were just seeding it or something.
Yeah, I feel like there was actually some sort of camp that was in the mountain for quite some time
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the Tibet region.
Yeah, it just seems like India was the last to kind of go to sleep.
Yeah,
My feeling on it.
even then, it's not totally asleep yet, but
Yeah,
it's
it's,
getting there. It's
it's
kind of drowsy, but it's
yeah, yeah, because it still kind of speaks. I mean, technically,
hmm
yeah. So it hasn't really gone to sleep at all, actually. Yeah. Hmm.
right.
So just a bunch of okay. Yeah, go ahead if you have anything. Hmm.
And India and some sort of portal, and being shown like a tower with one kind of very narrow building, ancient, that acted as a portal or a vehicle of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it is known yet at this moment. No, it had since disappeared, of course, because it moved. It can be in different places. It was moved to different reality or dimension.
Hmm.
It was their vehicle. It looks like that it came here from. It was almost looked like a needle of sorts with the eye in a needle with the
Mm-hmm.
door.
Yeah. Hmm.
And but it's a lot wider, of course. Maybe yes. But it used to be a very holy. When back when it was in India, it was seen as a very holy object, of course, and it'd be a blessing to witness that energy there too, because it could be used to heal as well. It's very the energy there was very strong,
Mm-hmm.
very holy and unique. But it was also quite small for being a craft. It's like a portal. It was more like a moving portal. So India does have connections to some very advanced alien species.
And we're not gonna always know.
Yeah.
It's like before they closed the shop down, everybody came in to do their, they're
Hmm.
getting trapped here or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Before they put everybody in amnesia or however it was. look at
A
it.
lot of magic came from different worlds too in India. Uh, a lot of the magic that was in India did come from other realities, other dimensions, and other worlds. They had artifacts that kind of powered and gave energy to the Indians into the region, to the temples.
Well,
And some still hold that power. That, as you know, as you've seen before, like the temples, each is much more colorful, right?
yep, yep.
So some of the vitality came from otherworldly places,
Other,
otherworldly energies, giving assistance to our world.
yeah, gods of other worlds, you can say.
Yeah.
Flying around on their carpet or whatever it was, as the mythology has. You can explore that again. Those when you were starting out talking about those temples connect to other worlds. I don't
Mm-hmm.
felt like also aliens here were worshiping other aliens.
You feel like aliens are worshiping other aliens?
Yeah,
Maybe. There may have been a kind of
something like
hierarchy. It feels like, yes,
something like it.
yes, it does feel like that. Actually, now that I'm seeing, it feels like there were aliens that are more attuned to living on Earth
Hmm.
or living in a reality like this.
Yeah,
So they had a sort of a conditioned relationship with the gods, uh, and so they kind of carried out the gods' will, so to speak, uh, on Earth. And it
well,
was a sort of an middleman relationship.
it's like when they brought the like a temple or however you described it. It's like when they brought, different races brought it. Like one of them was like, "Hey, we did good, right?" to the other world and they came from. It's like, "Hey,
Mm.
look what we did," something like that. That's all I'm getting.
Yeah, there was some. I'm trying to clarify what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I do get that. I don't see it the same kind of worshiping as, let's say, we would worship Jesus, or if they're a
Mm-hmm.
Christian.
No, it's not the same, but it
But
has some kind of
it yeah, it is reverence. It is respect. It
something
is
like
sort of,
that.
notice. There is a certain kind of notice me senpai.
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
probably maybe it's more like that. It's more like a
yeah.
pat on the back or something like that. It's probably more like that than worship.
Hmm.
But, yeah. Like, hey, you didn't think we can do it, and here we are. Something like that.
Yeah. It is a somewhat dependent. Not always, but it's easier to be friends with the gods than not, So it's just
Yeah.
easier to, have the event store aliens, alien gods, uh,
Yeah,
and
because
it's mostly a positive relationship.
yeah, like in the beginning, like when the reptilians and the well, felines were here and Atlanteans, not many really aliens were here technically, but over time, everybody was here almost. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's the energy I'm getting.
India is a very complex place, but yes.
Hmm.
Or we're not always going to know what energy is there,
Yeah,
who is there, who is what there. It's
yeah, it's not going to be.
yeah.
Well, I guess you give the elephant alien is very prominent there. So
The elephant alien.
yeah, just the elephants.
It feels like the elephants were actually somewhat servant at the time of what I'm seeing.
Mm.
The elephants are created not as slaves. to say, that are servants
Hmm.
to the gods.
Wow.
That they kind of gain a godlike image themselves through that.
That'd be a sight.
What's that?
That'd be a sight.
Yeah. Uh,
So you have this like Indian god from another planet, and you have these elephant servants.
yes, I'm seeing like elephants using their trunks to like build
Yeah.
simple
Wow.
constructions. Elephant architect or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all through India, it's elephants everywhere.
Yeah. They kind of they were created as servants of the sort, but they're also very powerful on their own right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they're still like they carry a lot of information and energy. Of course, a lot of old, a lot of ancient spiritual knowledge and values. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
they were kind of created to have some of the virtues of the the gods. They had a lot of that godly energy with them too.
Mm-hmm.
But they can go negative and become proud.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. But they also act as sort of a library of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yes, mostly they're created as a very powerful servant of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But they're also symbolic. Sorry.
Yeah. But
But they're also symbolic of the gods and their virtues, in their cultural virtues, the leadership that they try to instill, philosophy, of course. The
mm-hmm.
elephants serve as a sort of totem animal.
Yeah.
Anyway, what you're gonna say? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Earth is it's called like a library. I don't know what is AR's point of view.
It's like I'm thinking the word sea. So the Earth is a sea of information.
Oh. Ocean of information
Yeah,
from other universes and all kinds of places.
exactly. One moment.
Yeah.
The information, the information changes. Sometimes it can. It's not always, as you'd say, written in stone.
Mm-hmm.
But information can change in some sense. Influences and changes energy.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah.
so you and I are both information in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we do change. Our cells are born and die. We change in our characteristics, opinions, moods.
So
So
there's no definite timeline then, really.
for what now?
A past timeline. There's multiple timelines, right? Like history timelines. You know, everything's always different than what we think it is. Maybe not.
I'm getting. Hold on. It's hard to say. It is. There's only now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
your interpretation of the past is always
Mhm.
going to be subjective.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, that's basically
Yes. So, um, what I think the ocean
Mm-hmm.
description of the sea is intonation is not written in stone. It's not a thing of
Mm-hmm.
crystals, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Uh-huh.
It, it can be crystallized, but it's usually fairly amorphous,
Mm-hmm.
just as we are made of water. Yet at the same time, we contain intonation in ourselves. Uh, it's just different kinds of intonation. You have intonation in the seas. You have intonation carried by water,
Yep.
by the dirt, by the trees, by the air. So it is carrying a lot of different vibrations on all over the place, of course, as you said.
Yeah.
But the intonation is much more fluid than something written in a tablet.
Yeah. So like people connect to Jesus, then they connect to Black Jesus,
Hmm.
or I don't know if you ever heard of Raptor Jesus.
I think so.
That's actually a thing. Yeah, Raptor Jesus. We got Raptor Jesus is a uh, that's a funny one. Or even like with Jesus when I'm just using it from an example. Like he didn't die he did die on a cross. He came back and he lived in France, and you know,
Yeah, I was when he lived in India at the time. Uh,
exactly. So it's always
it's not that those could be true.
hmm hmm
I I think there's more of the story pertaining to India, of course.
yeah, of course.
The French story does not seem to be as
hmm
clear to me.
hmm
Um, it looked like he did. He had energy from France for sure. But as far as physical activity in France, I'm not getting to say, but I do feel like he has some connections to France.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he did physically go to India. He did physically go to India.
hmm
Uh, but actually, of course, he could be in France as well.
Yeah, of course. All right. All right. Probably should wrap her up. Anything else from AR?
Um, uh, Let me see. One moment. I see Clayton being the Clayton woman here as well. Maybe want to add something. Hold on.
Okay.
Uh, I think she's sending some kind of healing work that needed to happen. Yes, it's connected to some of the rainforest that they're working on healing the rainforest at this time.
hmm
Of course, there's a fire that does have a point to it. There is a purpose to having the fire there that there needs to be healing done. And
hmm
the fires and the hurricanes, even if they're far away from us,
hmm
they do kind of affect us on a conscious level. And right now there are pleadings at this point, and I do believe some assistance from the Zetas, of course, that are working on assisting healing the collective from any of the traumas from the hurricanes and the fires, helping things go smoothly. And
Well,
uh, I'm
yeah.
feeling a very strong healing energy from this pleading woman. So,
Well, I
uh,
guess you can say like burning the Amazons, like burning like the Notre Dame, like
mm,
burning it down with energies, so new ones can come in.
yes,
hmm
but there's also a part of it that's also very scary and traumatic, of course, right?
hmm Of
There's
course.
a negative side, there's a dark side to it as well that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, of
And it
course.
feels like, especially with the animals that live in the Amazon, of course, it's difficulties there. So there's healing to the earth this time as well as
Mm-hmm.
As much as there's change and new information,
Mhm.
and information being released, is also healing that
Mm-hmm.
goes along with it. So it's a
Okay.
process, and I do that. Palladian, one moment, and the Zetas are also helping, but more so the Palladians with their magic. It was like at this time.
Nice. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Else from anything from AR or
Um,
goes around?
I feel like that. Hold on. I feel like that was it at this time. You just wanted to let others speak as well.
Okay. All right.
Uh, oh yeah, blessings everyone.
All right. All right. Good night, everyone. All right. Thank you. AR and retro. Okay. All right. Take care, everyone. Good night.